Hi, I'm Marius from MWS Photography. Welcome back to another episode of Digital Photography Today, the show where you will learn how to become the master of your camera. This week's episode is Tabletop Photography Part 2. I'm going to show you how you can take pictures of shiny objects and get real nice soft lighting on it. Now on the table here, you'll see I've got my watch as well as my wedding band, and you know your diet is going well. When this happens to your ring and you can't wear it anymore, it will need to be adjusted. So this is the setup I would normally use for people, not for shiny objects. I'm first going to take a picture to show you what doesn't look that good. And I'm going to show you how to improve on it by using a light tint. Now, normally I would want for people, say 45-degree light, so I would do that. I will have that flashlight right there and this one right here. Now both these flashes, that's the Nikon SP800 and this one right here is the SP910. Both of them are set to quarter power, so it's the same lighting coming from them. And you can see I've got a shoot-through umbrella in the front, and on the flashes here you can see I've got the flash cue receiver and I've got the flash cue transmitter here on top of the Fuji X-T1, and when I press the test button you can see those flashes are firing. So when I take the picture, those flashes will light our subject. Now for camera settings I'm using f11, 1/25th of a second, shutter speed, and then ISO 200. Now when I'm focusing and I take my shot and we look at our preview image, you'll see that there are on the side some hot spots as well as on the ring, and the shadows look very, very harsh. Now that's the problem with this type of lighting. With people it's fine as long as they're not wearing very shiny makeup or shiny base or something, or especially a makeup that's got like UV protection in there. It usually bounces right back at you. You need something that's matte so you don't really get that light coming back at you. So that's what's the problem with this shot. Now to fix that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first move this flashlight here and I'm going to grab my light tent. Now if you don't have a tent like this, you don't need to buy one, you can actually make your own. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the ring and the watch away here and I'm going to put this tent here. I'm running a little bit out of space here to move around. So this flashlight is actually going to come here anyway to the side. It's not going to be on 45 degrees anymore. I want the light to go into this tent. Now the purpose of this tent is for the light to bounce around inside this tent and give me overall very soft lighting, so that it fills out all those little shadows, and that harsh shadow it was behind the previous photo we just took, it basically just makes that very, very soft, so it looks much more pleasing. So if you want to shoot pictures for maybe an eBay store that you might have, this will help a lot to get softer images. Okay, now these tents really aren't that expensive and it folds down to a size. It's about this big once it's in the bag, and I use it quite often. If you want to play around with something like this and you don't want to buy it, then you can take a box and then you cut out, so basically you just want the shape of the box, that you've got something like this. Then you cut out the sides of the box so that you basically have the frame of the box, and then you take paper like this and you just basically make close off the sides and then also fill the inside of the box also with white. So then you've got the same type of effect like this, because I want the flashlight to enter from the sides. Now I'm keeping these umbrellas in the shot as well, because this already makes the light softer and this makes it softer, and that light bounces around inside the tent and it really makes a very big difference. Okay, so I'm going to put the watch in here, but I'm putting it in pretty far inside the tent, so I know there's a lot of light bouncing around. Also very nice with this tent, you can see there's Velcro on the front right here. So if you want, you can also put a section here on the front. It's just got a little hole where you can stick the camera in. Then you can make sure all the light that's now obviously bouncing out from the inside of the tent, all the light spilling out, is just bouncing back in again. So if you want to, you can do that and make sure you keep all the light inside the tent, and it makes a big difference. Okay, so I'm going to put this light here to the side. This chair actually makes it a little bit tricky now. That should do the trick. So this light is going to fire in there, and that light's going to fire in there. I do my test flash, make sure all my flashes are still working perfectly fine. Then I'm going to, obviously now I need to readjust here a little bit because I moved the ring on the table. There we go. Now when you look at that shot, specifically compared to the previous one, just look at that big difference. The color looks much better on the ring, especially on the watch and the ring. You'll see on the previous one you had those bright hot spots on the ring. On our second shot with the light tint, you can see those hot spots are not there anymore, and the ring looks a lot better. The detail on the watch looks better. Just look at the screen, not the screen, the face of the watch, the text part. If you look at the text, you'll see it's very contrasty in there because the light was coming from the sides and it was bouncing around in the room. It wasn't that soft, but if you look at the second shot where the light was bouncing around inside this light tint, it just looks a lot better. So you can try this. Like I said, you don't need to go buy one if you don't want to. Maybe just want to play around with it at your house. You can make something very similar. You can use side curtain material that you put in between your curtains. You can make something from that. As long as you keep all the light inside, it bounces around. Then you keep all the soft light in there, and then you get a very cool looking shot like that. So that's all for tabletop photography from my side. And I hope you have a lot of fun with this. And if you enjoy this, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button and get all my awesome episodes as they come out. And then I'll see you in the next episode for time-lapse photography. Bye.